welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday evening. I appreciate you taking out the time to spend time with me and doing a little bit of crafting. And for the record, I'm from Clovis, California. I keep trying to remember to say that, but I forget a lot, and that's okay. So thank you for joining me. We have a really cute, fun card today. I've been really wanting to play with the little monkey bundle. So here is the stamp set, and of course it comes with a punch. So anything with a punch, sign me up. I love it. Hi Jody, hi Marcia, Connie, Brenda, welcome everybody. Today has been a beautiful weather day. I even went out and sat outside a little bit. Whenever it's time to take the dog out, I go and sit down for a while, and then he comes back and looks at me like, aren't we going back in? And nope, I'm enjoying the sunshine a little bit. So I'm trying to get out, although I've been super busy trying to get a lot done with the new catalog launch. I hope you guys took advantage of the free shipping today. So don't forget, if you haven't shopped yet, there's free shipping, and there is a link below to my shop with the host code attached to the link. So you could just click on that, go shopping, and anything over $75 is free shipping. Now, I know a lot of people are like, I'm waiting for the new catalog, but don't forget, there's always a need for adhesive, for the basic white paper, any of the cardstock that's staying. Now is the time to get that ordered because you get free shipping. And so don't miss out on that. So that is today only, just so you know. The other couple things I have coming up is I did post for my June class. I'm going to do the Cheerful Daisies. It's going to be the same as the previous classes. If you purchase the suite from me, the class will be for free, but you must also fill out the registration form. So that is all scheduled to go. Obviously, you cannot purchase the suite until May the 2nd, and that's okay because the class isn't until June. I will be gone a lot of May. I've mentioned we're going to be doing some traveling, and we're going to be doing our incentive trip. So I'm excited about that. I will have internet service, so I will be posting. So don't forget to go over to Facebook, Marcie Bessecker Designs, and like the page, follow the page, and you'll see some fun stuff when I'm able to post for my trip prior to the incentive trip and the incentive trip, because I'll be in London, Paris, Ireland, yeah, and then headed to Norway. Oh, hey, you know what? It is very close. Okay, so here we go. Here's blueberry. I'm a little closer to the blueberry bushel, but I'm kind of in between the two. This is a little dark. This is quite a bit lighter, but good catch. I planned that. But I am, oops, wrong place. I am interested in playing with the Azure afternoon. So is that what it is? Azure afternoon. I feel like it's French. Azure. So yeah, so don't forget to go over there and you'll get to see that. Love this bundle, waiting for mine to get here. Oh, Judy, you're going to love it. Watch my last, oh, you're talking about the, oh, I was thinking of the daisies. This one is cute and fun. I have some plans, and I'm going to show you some tips on the monkey set. Oh, Trina, I'm really glad you do. Yay, I'm glad. So don't forget, if you want to purchase or to register for the suite, for the class, for the daisies, Cheerful Daisies. Even if you obviously can't purchase the bundle yet, you can still register now. I'll remind you, or come May, when you purchase the suite from me, I'll mark it off that you paid, that you purchased it from me, and you'll get the class for free. But you must register, because that's how I keep track of who I've got what on the class. So don't forget to do that. If you are a demonstrator and you already have your suite, then please just make sure you register, and the cost is $40. You can also, and people ask me this, and yes, you can, if you're a demonstrator and you want the class for free, but you already have the suite, you could purchase another $40 or whatever the value of the suite is. I don't remember. Whatever the suite value is, you could purchase that from me and get the class for free. But obviously, you could get the suite from yourself and just pay the $40 for the class. So I hope that clears that up. The other thing I want you not to forget is I have bingo already scheduled for June. May, I will not be having bingo in May. Just so you're aware, I will not be here. There is just not enough time for me to cram it all in before I go because I need to get my customer thank you cards done. And I'm going to try and do them for April and May if possible. So what else? Hi Margie, how are you? Hi Deborah. Okay, so the other thing, oh, I mentioned last time, I don't have this year's yet with me. My upline is sending it to me. So here's my mess I was working with. But she does catalogs with the spiral binding and the tabs. She will send you them with the tabs and a little list on what order to put them in, what page they go on, so you can put your own tabs on. And she is doing that again. She laminates the front cover so it's nice and protective, and also the back cover. So here is a little picture. The tabs she did are so pretty and colorful. She always likes to add the new colors in there. And so that is done, and you can purchase that from her directly. And so there is a post on my Facebook page. And there's also, I don't know if there was one on my blog yet. I don't remember, but you might check. But I will put it in this video's blog post so that you can get that. Oh, me too, Deborah. Hi, Tashana. How are you? So that's the few things there that I have updates for. Again, I have the blend labels if you're interested. Also on my blog. It's where all of my my shopping is for my classes and bingo and all that good stuff. And last but very important is the paper share. I have a paper share that's going to be available. I will be ordering that on the 2nd of May. So orders must be in and paid for by May 1st. Again, you can register now. I will send you a message or an invoice if you don't want to pay now, but really you can go and register and then click on the PayPal below, or you can come back to my blog, add it to your cart and pay for it. But just make sure you register because I need your email and your address and all that good stuff. So I can get that to you. And I will be pulling out an example of my paper share on Sunday's video. So I can kind of explain it a little bit because I package mine up in like 6.5 by 6.5 bags. They're labeled. They tell you, my name will be on it so you'll know where you got them from. But it'll also have the name of the product number, that kind of thing. So you'll have a bag for each packet of paper. So you can have, all the information right there at your fingertip. So when you know if you want to reorder it, it's right there with the item number and everything for you. So I hope that will be helpful. And I really enjoy doing the paper share. So hopefully you'll want to participate in that. And let's get busy. And I'm going to show you some tips on our cute little monkey card today. So here it is. You can't really tell in the picture. Oops. But it is 3D-ish. There's some 3D items going on there. But there's also some direct coloring. And I also want to show you some tips and tricks on this card. Oh, I do have one more thing to say. I did have somebody mention to me on the last couple of videos that they heard a humming noise. So I went back and I listened on this computer, my laptop, and my phone, and I didn't hear it. So I don't know if it's a frequency thing. So hopefully you guys can't hear it. I haven't changed anything. I did have a fan on one time, but that was a recorded class, I believe, but I still didn't hear anything. So hopefully you guys don't hear that. If you do, I apologize. I don't know what else to change. I don't even have my fan on today, and I haven't been. So hopefully it's not an issue. All right, let's get busy. I have a lot of tips and tricks to show you. There will be quite a bit of coloring in this one because I just kind of want to show you all the things that we're going to do. There are so many cute pieces on here that I wanted to show you. So I punched out, okay, so this monkey I stamped and I punched. And then you could, oh, I don't even know if I kept it. Well, I didn't. This one I punched and I created without stamping the body. I just did the face, okay, because we have the little face right here. We also have the little heart, or the punch has the face that you could place over these if you wanted their eyes closed or whatever, because remember, he's going to be hanging upside down maybe by his tail, or maybe he's down here and this one's hanging. This one's definitely going to be hanging with his tail up there. And mine finally stopped. Don't know what it was. The sound is perfect. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. I have my volume on high and have never heard it. Thank you, Annie. Yeah, I haven't either, so it was really hard for me to, you know, when you really listen and turn it up, I mean, obviously your speaker is going to give you that little bit of a sound, but I didn't hear anything on the video. So thank you very much for letting me know. So there's a couple different options. You can stamp them. You can, you know, create them off of here. And then I decided that I wanted to stamp the little guy in white. Okay, so that's what I did. I also made a template. So you're going to take your punch, of course, and create yourself a template. This is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, I just found it to be the easiest size to where you can still hold it and you can, you know, get your image exactly where you want it. So what I did is I created a bunch of these because I will be using them in the future. And so I decided I was going to create a template and do this. So let me show you what I did. Yes, I'm going to use my Stamparatus, and you will see me use my Stamparatus because I assume that you guys have one too, hopefully, and I will be using it. I always put an ink pad underneath because that leaves this flat. What I do is oh, this is contraband. You don't want to see that. So what I do is I put this in here, and then I take my stamps and I line them up. So what I do is I'm going to put my stamps, and for this one, because I had that corner thing in there, I'm going to put this like this, and I'm going to close it like that. So that is where my stamps will go. All right, so then this is where my card would go. Once you get these lined up, all right, and get them stuck to your thing here, then what you're going to do is put your paper in here and stamp it. And then I just continue stamping them because I know that this is going to fit perfectly in my punch. So I can put this in like this and then just move it right to where I need it, and then I can punch it. All right. So, but I'm going to color it first. So that is how I stamped and how I lined that up. So I wanted to show you that. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start with our little monkey guy. And we have a lot of product and I have a lot of blends. So I'm going to show you what they are. Oh, you do hear it. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, so I didn't write the supplies down because a lot of the stuff you can't get yet. So here we go. We have crumb cake, light and dark. We have the lemon lime twist, light and dark. We have lolly lemon, or lemon lolly, light and dark. We have pecan pie, which is one of my new favorite browns. We have light balmy blue, light Lost Lagoon, or you can use light Pretty Peacock, and I'll show you the difference. And then you can use light and dark Old Olive and light and dark Granny Apple Green. All right, so that's what we're gonna do first. So the very first thing is I took the light granny apple green and I'm gonna color my little monkey's eyes in just right there. Just to give him some pretty little green eyes. All right, I'm gonna bring in my view here just a little closer because we're gonna be doing quite a bit of coloring here. Might as well start with our banana. So I take the lolly, I say lolly lemon and it's lemon lolly. I'm gonna take the dark one and I'm just gonna go right down the center. It doesn't have to be right on the line. It doesn't have to be all neat or anything. And then I'm gonna take the light one. So that was the dark one, and then I take the light one, and you can hardly tell the difference, but it is a little bit of a shade. Now what I'm gonna do is, I forgot we do need crumb cake, so you're gonna need the pecan pie and the crumb cake. Oh, you guys always hear it as well. Oh, I apologize. I think I caught you live. Yay, Cindy, you did. Oh, good. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to take the dark crumb cake and the light crumb cake. I'm going to take the bullet point in. So remember, these are the new pens. So it's the bullet point. Oh, these are the regular pens. What am I talking about? These aren't the markers. These are the regular alcohol. So I'm just going to go around the outside just a little bit. Just a little around the outside. You don't want it super thick. Okay, so I just add a little bit just to kind of frame the face a little bit. And then I'm going to take the light one and I'm going to do little circles to just blend that in. But you don't want to do a whole lot because it'll kind of start bleeding out a little bit across your black, and you don't want that. I take it and I just go around the eyes. Okay, and then I do this. So I just like to blend that outer line that's just a little darker. It's kind of in this little circles. And then we're just going to brush him in. And you can switch to the brush here if you want to. This is the lighter crumb cake. We did the darker first around the outside. And remember, the blends, they tend to lighten up a little bit. So don't worry about, you know, how you think, oh, that's not the color you wanted. It will lighten up a little bit. All right. If it doesn't lighten up enough for you, you can always take your color lift and lighten it up, or another color, and it'll be fine. Oh, you guys can hear it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so, well, I'm glad not everybody hears it. I'm just guessing it's a frequency thing. All right, I forgot. You need to take your crumb cake and do the same thing with the ears. And if you wanted to add a little pink to the ears, you could make it a little more kid-like. I mean, obviously, it's a cute little monkey. You can make it as cutesy as you want. All right. So we're just going to do the inside of the ears. All right. Now I'm going to take the dark pecan pie. Now notice I open these away because they are alcohol inks, and sometimes if they're sitting there for a while, then you might get a little bit of a wet, like it drips a little bit. So just make sure you kind of, you know, move that over. So I go under his neck right here with the dark, and I'm going to do right here. And I do a little bit on the bottom of the ears, and I'm just adding a little bit of color. I am no expert in coloring. I just think I know what I'm doing, which I don't, but I just kind of think, oh, I'll add a little bit of shading here and there. I'm going to go down the legs a little bit, down the tail a little bit, and then maybe like on the sides where his underarms might, you know, be. And then just add, and then you can also always take it and just kind of fan it out. And just kind of give them, you know, a little bit more color if you wanted. And then I'm going to take the lighter and just kind of blend it. I love this new pecan pie color. So pretty. All right, and just kind of blend. You want to bring your pen across that darker because you just kind of want to blend it in a little bit. You don't want it to be super dark right there. Same with the tail, kind of go down, but not a lot because remember, you're going to just move your ink. And the black won't move because it's water based and the alcohol inks are alcohol, but if you do it too much, it can, you know, start moving your color a little bit. You don't want that. Even the alcohol that's within the line can kind of go outside the line, so you want to be careful. All right, and then of course move your paper around to where it kind of goes with your coloring. Make it easier on your hand. You don't need to be twisting your hand all up to, you know, color all weird. I like to go around the lines and then I color in. Same with the face. Go around. And then color that in. That way you're not going over it too much. You just want to make sure you get that. All your little white spots. Okay, so see his little body looks a little bit, oops, I'm kind of going off screen, sorry. It kind of looks a little bit darker. And then you've got his head because that, of course, the light's going to be coming like that. So it just depends. You're going to also have him upside down and you're going to have the tree shading him. So it's, you know, whatever, if you want to be that in detail there. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything reading. Almost like a chirping. Oh, good, Debbie. Yeah, oh, I apologize to those that do hear it because that's a bummer. But I just don't hear it. And I tried it, like I said, on 3 different machines. So, all right, so just line it up just like that. And we don't need any of these pieces except the little banana and our little monkey. Now, remember, this could be his face if you wanted to, you know, put your monkeys together and do his little face. And then these, you're going to notice, are a little bit flat on one side. Those are for his ears. So if you wanted to, like this little guy here. Oops, this one. So if you wanted to, you could, you know, put them all together. But I kind of like the look of him being colored. So, all right, so now we're going to do the back. So let me bring in our piece here. So we're going to layer this white up right on top of here. So we're going to work with this first. And so what we need is I'm going to move my markers for now. And I'm going to bring in some of my stamps. Let's do our branch first. You are crazy, Stephanie. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up. And we're going to do a couple branches. Oh, you know what? Let me grab something really quick. I used my other grid paper has a project going on it, so I had to pile everything up on it and move it to the other room, other side of the room. So let me pull this in for us. Here we go. Yay. Okay. I might have a few of those. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp. So let's stamp this up. And I'm just going to do like a branch towards the top. And it's however many you want to do, whatever you want to do. I'm going to add another one. And I kind of had it go up towards the top. I'm going to bring this one down a little. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. And I'll show you why I did it like this. Because here, you're gonna pop this one up, but then this one's kind of hiding behind the monkey. And so I thought I'd bring it over here a little bit more so we hopefully we'll see the leaves. And then what I did is I stamped another one on here. So I do need to cut these out, but I've already colored this much because we're going to do a lot of coloring. We didn't need to add that much more coloring. All right. All right, so then what we're going to do is we are going to do our leaves at the bottom. Okay. So I took this leaf, which is kind of a tropical leaf right here. And now this is really cute for a vine, if you wanted to do a vine like he's hanging from a vine. And I could have done that, but because I did a lot of the leaves at the bottom, I wanted to leave it more like a regular tree at the top, like he's just hanging out in the tree. So there's a lot of different options you can do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp directly on our paper and get some leaves going. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I want to stamp right here. And then I'm going to stamp like right here. We're going to stamp here and stamp there. Okay, so there we have 4 stamps. Oh, it looks like I've got some ink right there, but that's okay. Let me wipe the ink off my hands here. Okay, so what I did is, we're going to just cover our ink up here for a second. What I did is I took and I stamped on our masking paper. So here we have our stamping masking paper. So you want to use this when you do masking and it works great. So let me show you how that works. If you notice, besides these 3 leaves I popped up on the top, everything else just crisscrosses over each other and it doesn't leave a big overlap, right? So let me show you what we're going to do. And I should have cut these out, but I did not. So let me, and I did about 6, I think. Yeah, 6. So we're going to cut this out. Keep your scraps because you'll use them. So give me a second. Sorry about this. I want to do this part before I do any coloring. I do all the coloring at the end. So I'm just going to cut these out, and this is on masking paper, so it's super thin, like thinner than a Post-it note. And then when you take the sticky stuff off, it's thin and it goes right onto your projects. Now see how I went in the black line? You want to be in the black line because you don't want to leave a white line around your image. And this is what's nice about this, is it cuts it so close and it's so thin that it covers up your item nicely. So let's just cut all of these out because we're going to use them all. And then don't throw them away, and don't throw the backs away, and I'll show you that in a minute. You can throw this part away because it will come in handy. So let me just cut these. You don't want to see any white on the outside if you can help it, but you don't want to really go on the inside of the black either. Just go right in the middle of the black is good, or close on the outside. Just don't leave yourself much white on the outside. You just get a better stamped image like that. All right, so you just want to stamp this side smooth, and kind of like the back of the dimensionals or whatever. So you want to make sure that you do, you know, stamp it on the other side. I have been crazy busy getting my swaps ready for my incentive trip. We're doing swaps if you signed up for them, and I did. So those are done, except there's a few things I have to order on the 2nd, my embellishments to add to the rest of my cards. So that's good. And then I have the fundraiser event with Sarah and Shelley in San Luis Obispo at the end of the month. And I will have a table there with kits for people to make. And I'm done with those. So woohoo! Now I'm making thank you cards. So I'm feeling very accomplished. All right, last one here. I know watching me color and cut stuff out is fun, but this is the project, and this is going to be, hopefully for those that maybe have not done this before, will be helpful and understand what the masking paper is about and how you can color, and you don't have to be all crazy about how you're going to color stuff. Okay, so we've colored our 4 pieces there. All right. Now this is the fun part, is getting the back of this off. It's a little tiny, like a dimensional, but I think it's even thinner, the backing, than a dimensional. So this is the fun part. You gotta separate that. I just put your pokey tool or whatever you have. Don't throw that away. Hold on to that because you might need it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this paper and let me find, I like to put my silicone mat underneath because this is going to hang off, even though it's not very sticky and it's meant to go onto paper. So it's not going to really stick to anything, but it's easier for me to tell where they are too. All right, so there's one. So we're going to take these 4 off. Okay, this is the fun part. I guess I could have started these ahead of time at least. I was definitely multitasking today. Okay, come on. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. There we go. Seems like sometimes they just go off super easy and other times not so much. All right. And you want to get them as centered in as much as you can so that all you see is the black line on the outside. Okay, so for your stamping. All right, so, oh yeah, gosh, Margie, the masking paper is so nice because you could do large flowers, you could do small flowers, you could do the scenes, you know, when you do the ocean, and we have some new sets with like patio decks and different things would be kind of cool. But this is a great way to create scenes and add things in to just give yourself a more of a realistic look. All right, 3 down, 1 to go here. Concentration. Does anybody else have a better way to do this? I don't know that there is. Because you don't want to wrinkle up your paper. So, hi Melanie, hi, how are you? Hi Nicole. All right, so there we go. So see, I kind of bent the tip and then it bent kind of nicely. So that worked. All right. So now you just want to make sure they're right there. Not too far over because you don't want to have white lines on the side, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back on here and we're going to go back in and we're going to add more leaves. Okay. So hold on to these. Don't let them go anywhere. Put those up there with those. All right. And now think about how you want your leaves. And I'm probably not going to do as many as I did before, but we're going to just have that one cross over. And then you want to kind of press onto it. All right. I'm going to have, okay, this one is new. Think about where you want your leaves to go. I'm going to have this one go here. All right, so you can kind of think about that. This is paper, that's not. You can do this right here. All right. And now you're going to know that you just did this one. So let's stick one over here because we need to add something else over here. Or, yeah. So same thing. It looks like if I fold the tip a little bit, that doesn't really help. The concentration getting that off. All right, so now this one right here is paper. This one's paper. That one's paper. I want, you know, another leaf to come up here somewhere. So I'm going to cover this one up. And obviously you can tell where they are because they're hanging off your paper, but they barely stick to paper, so you're okay. So I'm just going to do another one like right here. Okay. All right. And then it doesn't have to be covered. So let's go back up here. This one is covered. This one's not, but I'm going to do like this. Okay. So now it's going to look like, if you look, it looks like it's behind that one. Okay. Uh-oh. Don't stick your fingers in the pins. Okay, this one is not covered, but these two are. So what I'm going to do is kind of just come up here short. It doesn't have to be full, but I want it to have some, and we're going to plop some ones in there anyway and pop them up. All right, so now I'm going to take this off here, and I'm going to move it right here. So move them around where you need them. Once you get these stamped and cut out, it's a lot easier. So I've never used the masking paper before. I'm glad you're showing us how. Oh, good. Oh, hi, Marianne. No, we're kind of just getting started here. And I'm going to have this one just kind of, okay, so make sure paper, paper, paper. I'm going to have that come out right there a little bit. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to pull these two papers off up here because I'm good with those. So I'm going to add this one here. Okay, that one. These three are now covered. And I'm going to cover, this one's covered, but this one's not. I'm going to cover this one. As long as you get the tip on, you can kind of wiggle this one where you need it. So if it's a little over, it'll fix itself. These are all covered right here now. I'm just going to do one more, just kind of coming out right there. So I want to press hard because I want to make sure it gets through that paper. So let's peel them off. And I like to have something close by, so I'm just going to put them back on this here. So let's peel all these off because we might need them. And at first you're like, oh, but this looks like a hot mess. Be careful pulling the paper off. It's just like washi tape, but washi tape tends to stick a lot harder than the masking paper. So we're going to peel them all off and make sure everything looks good. All right, so if you look, see how they all look like they're going right behind each other? And it doesn't look like anything's overlapping and it's not a hot mess. All right, so this is what I like about, I used to use Post-it notes too, Nancy, but they're a little thicker. These are super, super thin. And then these little plastics that you pull off, you can use those. So sometimes if you're not smart and you don't put these on something that you can continue using, then you're like, oh man. Now, because I have a big old blotch right there, I think I'm going to do another leaf. So, but I don't like them to be just out there by themselves. So let's see what we can do. We're going to do this one, right? I'm going to butt it right up against the other. Okay. And then I'm going to cover it up because I don't like it by itself. I like them all to kind of overlap, like these two overlap. They may not connect there, and that's okay, but I don't want to just have a leaf sticking out by itself. So then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to do just the tip of it like that. Okay, so that looks good to me. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then I'm going to take this, and that's done. Now, I did do the inside already, which I threw my first batch of leaves away. But I pulled one back out, which is, you know, I had one of those sticky leaves. And then I took a plastic one, and I put it on here once I did it. And then I stamped, and it was fine. So if you need to use these, or if you want to save on your masking paper, you can. But I'm going to put this leaf in my stamp set, excuse me, and use that again. All right, so now we're here at this point, and we're going to do some coloring. I'm going to move my little monkey out of the way so he doesn't get all caught up. All right, so we're going to color just like these. I already colored these because I was trying to do a little more to get done, so I don't have to watch so much. But this one, you kind of, I want to show you how I did it. So these leaves I used Pretty Peacock for the bluishy color, and I just wanted to kind of tie more colors in than just green right there. And you know, sometimes you see tropical stuff with different colors. So let's do this. I'm going to bring in my markers, and I'm going to tell you as I'm coloring what I'm using. We're going to do the branches first, and they are going to also be the pecan pie. So I'm going to go with the dark first. And I do the ends in the dark, and then I just kind of did the top. Okay. And I could have done just the bottom. Just do one or the other. If you're doing the top, do the top. If you're going to do the bottom, do the bottom. I did do the little branch thing like that. Okay, so just add that little branch there and add your dark pecan pie, and then come in with your light. Again, you want to kind of go down the dark part because you want it to kind of blend and not see like a big layer of dark on top, but you just want to see it kind of blend. All right, so see, now you have like a couple shades there that just kind of give you a little bit. Can you show us how you store them in your stamp case, please? Oh, I just throw them in there. I just take it like this. I'll just take this. Oh, I don't put the other ones. This one wasn't used. I don't put the sticky ones. I guess you could. What I normally do here is once I'm done with this, I keep the thinner part of my stamp case, my thing. I take them off of this acetate and I put them on here. And then I lay this on top. That way I know I can, you know, how many I have, where they go. I mean, they go like this, but I like to just have them on here, and then I put this on top. And then I would throw that in there like that. If I was to keep the other ones, I mean, they are masking tape. You could just stick them on there, because you can definitely come back in and pick them off, because they are just, you know, like a light masking tape. So you could just tape them in there if you wanted to. So that's what I would do, is I just throw these in here. Just, I'll know it's there. And then the other ones, yeah, you could put them on there until they've gotten quite a bit of love, and then you probably want to not have those in there because they won't stick anymore after a little while. All right, so let's get this one done. Okay, so there's our brown, our pecan pie. Now I'm going to bring in a bright green, so I'm going to use the Granny Apple green. So see, I'm just looking at the ends, Granny Apple. I'm going to go with dark first. Again, pulling it open on over to the side. And I'm just going to go down the middle. Nothing neat. I don't want to go on the outside of the line, but I'm not worried about the inside. I'm just kind of giving it some dark color down the middle where the line's at. And it's thicker than the line, so you can at least see it. And then we're going to take the lighter one. And we're just going to lightly go over it. I don't want to blend it too much because I want to see that dark. I want to see that there's two different greens on there. So, and you can do a different green if you wanted. Obviously, it's whatever you choose for your colors. Notice I'm coloring everything before I do the background. All right, because our alcohol markers are going onto white paper, which is what I want because it makes it more vibrant. All right, so there's our green, but we're going to use these greens too. So just randomly go through. Remember, this is a brighter green. So go through, and I like to choose the larger shapes. And I also try to do them kind of across from each other. So this branch right here are across from each other, kind of. They're a little diagonal, but that's okay. And I'm going to do this one. And it can't always be like that because they're kind of at an angle like these two right here. All right, so just go in and pick the larger pieces because I want the brighter ones larger. And then the blue, which is our Lost Lagoon for this one, because we don't have anything else. We're just doing it, that's the only blue. So I definitely want to use that also as a larger piece. I did two bigger pieces and I'm just going to do these little ones right here. Just add a little bit somewhere. I'm also going to do it on the tips, but only a couple. We're going to spread those colors out through other stuff so that it's not just the tips. Okay, so let's just keep going. Just pick out, choose your color. You can see I'm doing the larger, and then I'll probably just do the end there, and I'll probably do these two little lines. And this one, and then I'm going to do these. So just kind of pick and choose. They all don't have to be the same. So like this one, I'm going to go down here and do the ones below. Okay, so, and then we'll just do that line because these two go across from each other. And I'll do this one right here. So just kind of make it to what you think. I'm going to do the tips of this one too. So we'll just skip every few. Because when you use the darker, you're going to do the littler lines and you don't really have a lot to fill up. And you'll see I like to go around the outside and then just color in. Because it doesn't have to be exact. Okay. All right, so we're filling our green. This one looks like it needs a little bit more. I'm just going to do that one right there and this one right here. And now we are on, let's do this one. I'm going to do the tip of this one. So just kind of space them out. And again, this is Granny Apple Green. So because I did this one low, I'm going to do this one higher. All right, so there's one color. So that was Granny Apple Green. So let's pull in our Lost Lagoon now while we're here. We're going to do the lighter color. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. I actually colored on off-white Stampin' Up! Thick paper. Oh, nice. Good, Melanie. Yeah, that's what I wanted, Deborah. It's kind of jungle leaves. And so I'm adding some different tones for different shades of color. And, you know, the light hits them differently. And it's a fun card with the little smiling monkey. I mean, if it's not all green leaves and they don't look exactly like jungle leaves. That's okay. We're going to add some color. So just start adding. So this is the light Lost Lagoon. Like I said, I did the pretty peacock last time, but I thought I'd go a little more blue. So see how I'm just kind of skipping around, but I'm trying to do a little at the top, little at the bottom. Again, this is the blue. I want to try and get the larger pieces. So we have the bright green and the blue, because it's the only blue color. So when you guys see a lot of stamping where there's a lot of layered stuff going on, and there's just a lot of flowers or plants or whatever that you have behind, you know, each other, this is probably what they did as the masking technique, which is really nice to do. It is a little time consuming, but it just, your card just really shows that you put a lot of work in, and it's really not as hard as it seems. Making the masks and peeling them is probably the hardest part. All right, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to do that one. So see how the colors are just kind of separated. That's why I like doing the whole thing at one time. So now I need a blue tip. I'm going to do this one. One there, one there. And I'll do this one. All right, so let's see, we'll do this one. I hope I'm on screen. It's really hard when I make the screen smaller that I realize, oh wait, I'm probably out of the screen, so just yell if I am. All right, so that was light Lost Lagoon. Love the color. I forgot how much I love this color. All right, so now we're going to go back in and we're going to pull out, and I tend to pull out the lighter colors. So light Old Olive. So this is a darker color. So I'm going to go with small pieces. Besides the fact that this light Old Olive is just about out of color. All right, so just kind of go through and fill out some smaller pieces just to kind of tone the leaves down and give it that extra. That darker tone in there. And when you're doing this, you kind of want to make sure, like our next color is going to be the Lemon Lime Twist, which is another bright green. So you kind of want to make sure you put this next to a light green so that you can bring in a the other bright green, so that you kind of separate them a little bit with the darker color. All right. So there's that. I like the brighter colors to be on the bigger spots. So just kind of think about that when you're doing it. And this is light olive, so imagine dark would be really dark. My pen, you can tell it's getting dry. Also, I do have a lot of things I'm going to be selling come May 2nd when we are able to sell. So if there's anything you're interested in, just let me know. I'm setting things aside and ready to ship them on the 2nd. So I have blends any retired blends. I have quite a few of those. I have stamp sets, bundles, paper. I have a lot of stuff. So just message me and let me know, and I'll see if I've got it. Oh, let's see. I'm going to do another one dark here. I know watching me color is not the most. I know it's funny. Whenever I say that, I get people that go, oh no, I love watching coloring. And then I get other people that are like, do more coloring. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I wanted to show mainly the masking on this one. All right, so see how the colors are coming along? I have a shirt with these colors now that I'm looking at it. Do you know Stampin' Up! Has placement parts for trimmer? My scoring blade came off during transport. Yes, Margie, you can buy, I think it's a 6-pack of blades. Let me see if I have one right here to show you. I don't have it right here, but I think it's a 6-pack or 4-pack of blades. So yes, just look under trimmer and then the blades will pop up. And don't forget, you guys, free shipping today. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to switch over to our the light lemon lime twist. Now I pulled out light and dark from a lot of things, so we can switch and go to a couple dark. Like I might do a dark of this one just because it is a lighter color. So just think about, you know, doing a darker, but you can see how much brighter this is, even to that color. So then I kind of start filling stuff up. Like if it has a lot of the light color, it's okay. Because, okay, that's light right there. You don't want to do that, but this isn't. All right, so I think from the rest of my colors, I'm good coloring the rest of this. So that's why you kind of want to spread your colors out. And if you get a couple colors together, not a big deal. No one's going to sit there and go, oh, you've got a lot more light green than this, or, you know, whatever. But like the blue, you definitely kind of want to spread that out just because it's such a unique color to the color palette here. All right, so see how they're kind of coming along. And just fill in your spaces. And just be careful when you're coloring, because you don't want to color in your spots that are the background. All right, so you want to make sure that they are the parts of the leaves. Although if you mess up and you kind of fill that spot, no one's going to know. No one's going to tell the difference. But I try to stay with the leaves, just like that's white right there, but this isn't. I'll do that one. And you can go back to a darker color if you want. Like I'm probably going to add a darker color at the top right there, because that's a lot of green. Right there and right there. Because all of these colors right here are all grouped together, I'm going to bring in another color and not do all the green. See how you just spread them out a little bit? All right, so I'm going to bring in, I'm going to do this one. All right, so there's that. So what I'm going to do is bring in the dark of the lemon lime twist. I'm still learning the colors. Now this is going to give it a little bit of a different color, but it's still in the greens, but it's not going to all look the same color because we changed it up a bit. Oops. There we go. So make sure you get them all. I have one more to do, and I think I'm just going to do this one, blue. There. All right, so our leaves are done. Yay! And see, they look pretty close, right? As long as you're using the same color palette, you know, mix and match, whatever works for you, put them on there. And there we go. All right, so here's our piece here. So let me cut these out really quick. I know, cutting and coloring, right? A lot of cutting and coloring. So again, we're gonna go close to the outline. Now this one you want to go around the outline. You don't want to go through the black. You want to make sure you see your black outline, but of course I'm going to show you my trick that I normally like to do. So there's one. Remember, always turn your paper, not your hand. Your hand should be steady, just a slow cut. That way you're not hurting your arms and hands by moving everything all crazy. And you're just slowly cutting and turning. Oh, somebody asked me recently what I was watching. I'm watching still the Gilmore Girls. I'm loving it. If you liked The Good Witch or Dawson's Creek, anything like that, you'll like this. It's a good show. I like it. All right, so now we need our branch. So just cut the angle of the black on the outside. Again, go as close as you can. I don't want any white because we have a colored background and I don't want to see any white. So, but I'm going to show you what I do to take care of that. You don't want to go too close in between the leaves, but around the leaves go fairly close. Okay, because we're going to fix this white, so don't worry about that. But you need that white in between the leaves to hold on to the leaves. All right, so I'll show you how we're going to take care of that too. All right, so kind of go close, but leave that white to hold it. You can tell I'm not talking, I'm concentrating. All right. Yeah, fussy cutting, I mean, you don't have to with this. Obviously, you could just leave it like this, but it's fun to kind of step it up. And because it has a punch, you're like, ooh, it has a punch. I don't have, there's no die cutting, but you still, if you want to step it up, you're going to need to do a little bit of fussy cutting. But don't you feel that when you do a card and you do some fussy cutting on it, it's just so worth it? It is just, I feel that you're like, oh man, that card came out really good. It would not have come out to be what you want it if you didn't fussy cut it, right? All right. So what we do, you guys have seen me do this before. Take your black marker and just come in, and you don't have to go way deep in the grooves, just around the outside. You just want to make sure you get your black right there on the outside. See how it looks like it's a branch, and you don't have to have all that white. Do it from the back. Don't do it from the front because you might slip and get it all over your project, because it will go on the back of your project, but that's okay. And sometimes I forget when I get to little spots and I want to do the tip and I want to do it. Okay, there's a squared piece right here. I don't like that. There we go. Much better. So just kind of bring your black marker around. I don't have to go down in the middle. I just want to get as much of this white as I can. We're going to do something else with the middle. So get your leaves. We're going to go by the branch. You can angle from the back a little bit on the front if you need to get, you know, in a groove or on to cover that white up. But see how there's all that white right there? Just kind of cover that up. All right, now we're going to be able to put that on there, but we're not going to do that yet. Or our leaves, we're going to move those, but we also want to do black around our leaves, just to kind of give them that finished look. And if you get a little white on the end, you can snip it off, but you can also just color it. Okay, there's one. Marcie, how long have you been a stamper? Oh gosh, my very first stamping party I went to was 1990. And it was a lady that lived across the street from me. And it was she had a party. I had just moved into the neighborhood. And I lived in Salinas, California. And I started stamping then, but not a whole lot. And then I really started stamping a few years after that, but my kids were young, and because my baby, he was born in 90, so he was not even like 6 months old, I guess. And then I got away from it because my kids were, you know, very active and stuff. I stamped for a while, but not a lot, like birthday cards. And then I started stamping a lot again in 2000. Well, it was early 2000s, but then I started again in 2000, I want to say 11, when my son was in the military. Then I started a whole lot because I did Operation Right Home and all that. So yeah. And now I've been stamping. So I've been stamping a long time, but off and on for a while. But I absolutely love it. And I never took any major classes or anything. I just kind of learned. Okay, your alcohol markers are already on here and already colored on your white, right? So you can kind of see that vibrant color. So what we're going to do is we're now going to color our background. Now I did use this on a darker color, so I'm going to try and wipe it off really quick on my... Okay, so we're going to bring in the darker color, but for now I want to get the lighter color. So I'm just going, I usually have a paper towel, which I don't. So I'm just going to kind of try to get the darker color off. And then when you go on with the lighter color first. Okay, so I'm going to do Balmy Blue first. Okay, and I want it kind of a bolder color. So I'm going to come off and come right over my branches. Okay, so I want to come on and get my color on. Now I'm going to turn, so I was doing it this way because I wanted it to get that little darker edge. And now I'm going to do it this way because I want it on this side too. And I want the ground to be right about there. So I'm just going to do my blue right about there. And all it's going to do with your inked images is just to make them a little subtle, but that's okay because we're going to pop on those other ones on top, right? So I'm going to come with the Balmy Blue. All right, and it looks a little darker than Balmy Blue because I use that blue brush for a lot of stuff and I didn't have a paper towel, but that's okay. Because now we're going to bring in our Misty Moonlight. Just to kind of give it a little more dark look. Start off and come on. Okay, start off And then come on, I'm going to change my motion over here because I want it to get on the edge. And I'm going to come right over into here. Keep using the ink that's on your brush. You don't need to get all, keep getting more and more ink. Okay, so there you go. So there's that. I think I'm going to do a little bit more over here. There we go. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to bring in our green, and I'm going to use Old Olive. Now we're going to do the bottom portion. Now you guys know I told you, make sure you get grid sheets. I use these for everything. Great tip on the black marker. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Hi, Olivia. All right, start off. And we're just going to come across. We're going to fill in all those little holes that are behind the leaves in the green. Okay. And just keep going until you get that color that you want. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more. And blend that green right up with the blue because that's how they meet, right? All right, so I think that's good. And we can make it as bright or as, you know, light as you want. So you can keep going or you can keep it like that. So we'll just stop here for the video. Or we'll be coloring all day. You can keep going as much as you want. All right, so here's this. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add our other branch over here. But see this? See how that white sticks out right there? That's where I bring in my balmy blue marker. So bring this back in, and you can bring in your blend if you want, but I want this branch to kind of pop. So just kind of fill in that in with blue. And then see, you can add another layer because this one kind of looks a little light. Add another layer of the blue. You're just hiding that white right there. That way, when you put your branch on here, you don't see that white. Okay? All right. No problem, Olivia. Okay, so look at, you can tell I did my leaves different colors. So, I'm going to pull this in, and I'm going to pull in, what color did I use? I used Granny Apple with this, so let's see if I did, where is my, trying to grab all my markers here, let's see if it was this one. I think it was more green. So that's what I get for coloring them earlier, right? Not that one, it's going to be Old Olive. Old Olive. Old Olive White. See, my green is going. My Old Olive is going. Oh, wasn't that one. Let's try this one. All right. I think it is, let's try a light Granny Apple Green. Yep. All right, so we're going to do some light right on top of the ones we had to kind of fill in that color. I must have done the lemon lime twist. I must have grabbed the wrong one instead of the Granny Apple Green. All right, so let's see what that looks like. That's better. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the same one. And I'm fine with that. All right, so there we go. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Mary. All right, so now we have this. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in our, time to put it together. We're going to bring in our dimensionals. So what I'm going to do is You're going to put it on their leaves, but don't go all the way to the bottom. Move them up a little bit. All right, you're going to put 2 on each one. Not all the way on the bottom. And that's because we're going to cut some of those, right? So there are those. Now this, what I did is I am going to put my mini dimensionals where I want them. Right here, right there. And now I cut some, I need to cut more. Right here, I cut these. Okay, so cut them in half. And you're going to put them on your branch. I just put it on the big branch. I don't need it on the little one too. I'm going to put one here. This is a smaller one. I'll put that over here. And this is smaller because, you know, if you cut them and you cut them down one side a little more than the other one, it gives you smaller pieces. So you can put them on these little tiny skinny branches. And then this larger one I'm going to put right here. Okay, so there's our branch. So what we're going to do with our branch is we are going to figure out where we want it. Okay, so see how this one's sticking out and this one's shorter now? Now we can take our monkey and we are going to put his little tail. I want it behind the branch. You could put it in the front like this, but I don't want to cover up the branch. So I'm going to go behind and he's going to go like that. He's like just climbing, having a good old time. So leave yourself a space where you're going to put your monkey at, your little monkey. Now the other ones, remember there's the one that kind of hangs straight down. So just kind of know which monkey you're going to use so you can kind of get an idea of how you want to place everything. All right, notice I didn't go all the way to the edge there, but I did go close because I'm going to put my branch right about there. Okay, and then from the back, I like to use my larger scissors, but you can use whichever. I know these are ribbon scissors, but I like them to cut my stuff even. So there's our branch there. And then we're going to take our monkey and we're going to put him up here. So we need to add our dimensionals to our little monkey. So I take a large one for the head, right in the middle, a large one for the body, a little one for each ear. Little monkey ears are so cute. And then we're going to take a little dimensional, half of one, half of a mini, and just put it on his tail. You don't need it on his feet and all that stuff. That'll hold just fine. All right, we're going to take those off. You don't need them on his hands. They're not going to go anywhere. All right, now you got to see where your dimensional is and get your tail underneath there, even with your dimensional. You could take the dimensional off after, but that's okay. Kind of put him on there where he's hanging and then just lay him where you want. Okay, I want his little leaf to come in front of his ear, kind of like he's just in the trees. All right, and then now, of course, we're going to use glue, not a glue dot. I want to make sure this isn't going to go anywhere. We got to put his little banana. So let's put his little banana right there. And I'm going to put it behind his ear and to the front. Okay, so just kind of, I'm going to move it just enough to where I want to see the top of the banana. But the extra white piece, I'm just going to tuck underneath his ear right there. So you can see the whole banana. Now we're going to do our leaves. I don't like how this little tip, I'm going to round that off. Oh, thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and make sure I didn't miss any questions. So I'm going to put this right here. Okay. I want it to come off the page because I want to look like it's coming in there. So I'm just kind of filling up some spaces. So right there. And then we're going to tie these other two together. So remember when we stamped these two together and these two, we're just going to put this one kind of this way right here. Now you're going to turn it over, and again you're going to cut those off, which is why you don't want your dimensionals to be hanging off the bottom. Okay, so there you go. There's our 3D. All right, so now let's put our card together. We are going to do our tape. Hello. Somebody recently asked me about the tape and said, oh, I just hate using it, blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys remember when I first started with this seal, I was like, oh, you guys, okay. I'm not putting dimensionals on this, but before I forget, we got to put our sentiment on here. So we're going to go ahead and seal it on, put it on here, and know that we're not going to make a mistake when we put our sentiment, which is just swinging by to say hi. And then on the inside, we could put little monkey, because that's a saying. So when I send these to my grandkids, I'm going to put just swinging by to say hi, little monkey. I call my grandkids little monkeys all the time. So let's put that on here. My grandson says, I'm not a little monkey, you're a little monkey. So then I call him Schnookums. He goes, I'm not Schnookums, you're Schnookums. My granddaughter is much older, so she just looks at me like, Ani, what are you talking about? She just laughs because she used to be Schnookums. All right, so there is the front. And we're going to add that to our card base. When you're doing this, when you want to layer it up, you know, look at your card, because like I was going to do a green on the outside, and then I was going to put it on the pecan pie card. I am on this kick of doing white card bases. I just think it makes everything else just pop. I just really like the white. I like the thickness of it. I like everything about the thick white cardstock. So I order a lot at a time, which I'll be doing tonight with my free shipping. That and adhesive. So that is what I will be ordering. All right, so there's that. And again, I don't always put just this on the inside. I will add this to it. I don't think I ever leave this. Maybe once in a great while. It depends on the card. But I like to layer it up. So we're going to layer this up. But like I said, when you make these cards, like when I make them, these will be for my grandkids. But I made them like this to show you, leave the inside blank. Maybe even not adhere this together until you know who you're going to send it to. And then maybe you do want to add little monkey on there. Or the other saying that says, I'm bananas about you. Another really cute idea for a card for little monkey. Just super cute. So even though this card took a little longer because of the masking, it's better than having to color and cut all these out and pile them up and make them look like, you know, a bunch of grass or greenery. You can, you know, make it look whatever you want. Now you could just do them all in green or just 2 shades of green. You could do like a garden green and a shaded spruce, or, you know, whatever. And you could add those in there. Now the embellishments I used are our new, what are these called? Our new, yep, that is what they are called. Hold on. Oh, there are 20, 23, 25 in color dots. So that's what I used. And this is the Pebble Path one. So I did this large and the small here. And then I just put the medium one up here. Oops, right there. All right, there you go. I hope you guys liked it. So here's the two different. So again, I used Pretty Peacock on this one, Lost Lagoon on this one for the leaf colors. That's the only difference. Other than that, I just kind of mixed and matched the colors and put them on there. And then the branches, this one looks a little more vibrant on the top because I did put the blue over the back. But, and the same with these. These might pop up just a little bit more because I did the green on the background. But it really, I mean, those are what's supposed to be forward, right, towards you so you can see it. Really love the leaves and the black marker tip. Oh, Annie, I'm glad. Thank you. Thanks, Tashana. Thank you, Marcia and Connie. So super cute. You can see there's, you know, the colors lightened. I think this was a crumb cake that I hadn't used in a while. It was a little drier. This one has a little more color. You can clearly take your color lifter and add a little more right there if you wanted to pull that face out a little bit more. I would highly recommend doing it before you adhere it to your card. Make sure you get that in the shades that you want. And of course with the monkey, like I've shown before, you could take like crumb cake, except mine's going dead, and you could do little dots on the body and really make it look a little more furry. But I kind of think that, I mean, it does kind of give it that look. I don't know. It's just, the blends just make it such a fun, smooth look. Oh, you are welcome, Judy. I appreciate it. So thank you again for joining me. I had a question that somebody messaged me about my trip. Yes, for next trip, I'm that close. So yes, I'm very, very close. So I'm excited about that. Thank you for asking. Oh, you guys are welcome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the card. So when you think about it, sometimes don't think, oh, I don't want to do the masking. That takes too long to do the fussy cutting, or it takes too long. You know, it really doesn't. And you really come out with a better quality when you look at the leaves and how they are, you know, not layered up, and they don't look like a huge mess because they are actually layered, and they do look like they just overlap each other. So take that time to do that, because that is, it just gives you that much of a better look. And then fun here is stamping on the card, and then just pop up one branch. You don't have to pop them all up. Just something for the monkey to hold on to, because otherwise he's going to have to be flat to hold on. What color is the monkey? Oh, I did the face and the ears with crumb cake. So I outlined it in dark and colored in with light. And then his body is pecan pie. I did the dark, a little bit of outlining, a little shading, and then the light. Did I say pumpkin pie? Pecan pie. Pecan pie. What else? Oh, thank you, Sherry. Okay, everybody, so thank you again. I did at the beginning talk about my upcoming June class and bingo, so don't forget to go check that out. I do have a paper share available. I will take orders until May 1st, and then I will order on the 2nd. I will receive it on the 3rd, and I will get it together as fast as I can for you. Can you use the masking paper with dies? Absolutely, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think you can use it with a punch too. So if you had multiple monkeys, you know, like barrel of monkeys or something, you could do it. Make sure, of course, you leave the back on it. But I've never had a problem with it making my punch sticky or anything. So yeah, you definitely can. Okay, I'm just going to make sure. I know I missed a lot. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. Don't forget, it is free shipping on $75 or more. And my suggestion is adhesive cardstock, especially white and thick white. You know you're going to need it. Now is the time to get it and get free shipping. And then when you need your new catalog order, if it's something you can't live without and you need to expedite your order, you're not expediting all your adhesive and white paper and cardstock, just the new stuff. All right, everybody, have a fantastic evening, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye, everybody.